Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Chaos Child, and we'll see how my voice is doing. It's still a little fucked up right now. But I managed. Hey guys, it didn't sound too bad, but like, hey, still not great. It's still I can't get the higher registers. I can't do the lady voices now. Awesome. And the bird is apparently fucking pissed as always. Anyway, I'm coming in. Cardusu entered the empty room, knowing there wouldn't be an answer. She started by wiping down the desk and then moved on to do the rest of the cleaning the same way she always did. Nothing had changed in the room since Miyashiro had left. So, he left all his shit there? It was still filled with books, papers, and DVDs. Oh my god, stop it! Wow, it's a lot of books, yo. Home was the place where Cardusu felt the most calm and relaxed. It was where she could be herself and be with her family. Her favorite time of the day was after dinner time. It wasn't that she was uncomfortable at Hekio, but her personality was such that she always felt like she had to put her job first. And she liked the role she had at home with her family more than she liked the role she had in the outside world. Because she's like a mom. No one asked your opinion. Keep it down. As she cleaned the bookshelf, she saw a scrapbook. She'd seen it many times before, but she put it on the desk and started to flip through the pages. I hope he didn't leave his Cool Cat Press magazines here. Takuru. I'm sorry if all you can hear is that little motherfucker. Because that's all I can fucking hear. I can even hear myself over him. The book was filled with information on urban legends and crimes that had taken place in Shibuya. And on the last page was a collection of magazines and newspaper articles. Why did he leave all this? I mean, obviously you can't fit all those books and everything, but he left a scrapbook, you know? The magazine article was dated about 6 months ago, just before Miyashiro had left home. And the newspaper article was from 6 years ago. It was about the Shibuya earthquake. This was why Miyashiro had left home and gone to live at Miyashita Park. Miyashita Park. Miyashiro lives in Miyashita Park. I'm just saying. That's like too close. It's too similar. Look, there we are. We get to see us. Our adorable nerd face that sometimes needs to get slapped with just how fucking inappropriate we are. But anyway. How much of an asshole we are. The dates match exactly with the dates of the murder 6 years ago. They may be set up to look like suicides, but they're every bit as weird as the old killings. You're gonna die. Takuru Miyashiro. That's what she's saying. I'm assuming they just don't put the... I'm assuming she actually talks if you have the voice acting on that. Something might be coming for him, or maybe Takuru is getting involved in something. As his older sister, she had to protect her little brother. But... Can I face what happened 6 years ago? There was a knock at the door. She tried to take a few deep breaths to calm herself before she spoke. Who's there? It's me. I'm coming in. I like how he's just so unkempt. Why do you look like you're about to cry? Huh? She quickly put her hands up to her face. She wasn't crying. He didn't say you were, he said about to. She took a quick breath to help her focus. Oh, what's wrong? You were acting a little weird during dinner. Was I? Sukuma looked at the scrapbook on the desk. Did he do something again? His voice was a father's. Cardusu put the scrapbook back on the shelf. Yeah, or no, I guess he hasn't yet, but he might soon. He hasn't changed a bit. After the cops took him in the Love Hotel, you tried to get him to stop, right? Took him in at the Love Hotel. Okay, that makes more sense. Cardusu nodded, remembering what had happened in the hallway that day. But he doesn't seem like he's going to stop. That's rare. He usually does what you tell him. That's because I didn't really... What? What's wrong? Sorry. Sakuma sensed that something was wrong with Kurusu and sat down on the bed. He motioned for her to speak.
Dad, how did he start opening up to me? I mean, to the rest of the family? You know, when he woke up from his coma and started his rehabilitation, he barely talked to us at all, right?
Well, that was true of Yui and Yuto too, right? And you, actually.
We're not talking about me.
I don't remember that far back. And is there ever really a single reason for things like that? But he crossed his arms and seemed to be trying to remember the past. Soon. I don't know when he started opening up, but I do remember the first day he ate dinner with us.
Oh.
Kurusu realized that she remembered it too. Oh my god, we get flashback. Even after he'd started his physical therapy and learned to walk again, for a while he'd kept eating dinner alone in this room. Sakuma had told him that everyone was supposed to meet and talk after dinner, but he used his poor health as an excuse to stay in his room.
I remember that. What happened with that, actually?
I think it was what you said.
Huh?
You remember how you helped with his physical therapy? You said he was a part of this family, so you'd take care of him.
Yeah.
Miyashiro had refused, but she told him there was no reason for him to be embarrassed now. She'd been in charge of cleaning his catheter when he was in a coma, after all. Gross. Like, that's kind of too much for a child to do. And then you started spending even more time with him. You've had that brother complex of yours for a long time.
I told you, it's not like that.
And then when he was finally able to do everything on his own, and you came to me and asked if it wasn't time for him to go to school, do you remember what you said? Kurusu tried to think, but she couldn't remember herself saying anything special.
I guess he didn't go to school a lot before, but I'll make it so he can. If anyone bullies him, I'll get them back.
Okay, I like her a little more after we've seen these kind of scenes with her. Like, she's still too mommy. Like, you know, she's, like, mom-ish. You know? Like, you're too much of a mom. Back off. But, like, you know, you kind of see why she's like that, and it's, like, less... In the very beginning, it's like, it's kind of annoying. Like, I know you're a big sister, you're being the mom character, and that's what they did to you, but, like, eh. But, like, now you're like, okay, you know, I can tolerate it a little bit more. She's still gonna get on my nerves. But, like, it's gonna be like, God, Mom! But you're gonna kind of like it. You're like, well, at least somebody gives a shit. Like, all of our friends care, but, like, you know what I mean? I think she just cares too much.
You're kidding.
She didn't remember that at all. It's true. Remember what Yui just said? She definitely got it from you. You used to have an even sharper tongue than you do now. And he wasn't in the room, but he heard you say that. And that was the day he started eating with us. Well, he still didn't go to school all that much, but even if he spent most of his time in the nurse's office, it was still thanks to you that he was able to graduate. As she listened to Sakuma's words, she could feel the terror that had been building inside her start to fade away. I realize that we say Sakuma and Sakuma. I just flip back and forth with his name. I don't know. Let's deal with it. Instead, she felt a mixture of confidence, nostalgia, and joy.
Did I say that?
Yui's the girl. Okay.
Big sis, no.
I can't do cute voices anymore.
What are you doing?
What about you two? What are you doing? I asked you first!
You was going to the bathroom, but then we heard you talking. I see.
She smiled a little at Yuto's embarrassment. He couldn't go to the bathroom on his own at night. He'd always been shy and spent most of his time clinging to Yui, but the earthquake had given him a mild scotophobia? Scotophobia, too. What's scotophobia? Scotophobia, a type of specific phobia. A specific phobia is a type of mental disorder where the subject exhibits an extreme mental and physical rejection response toward a specific object or situation, such as heights or needles. Well, who the fuck likes heights? They're terrifying. Scotophobia is the fear of darkness, and it is commonly found in small children. The primary causes of this disorder are experiencing trauma in a dark place or being unable to control the instinctual fear that humans, being non-nocturnal creatures, have of the dark, or the fact that every time you go to sleep, you dream that you walk into a dark room to get something, and then the door slams behind you, and then something tries to, like, come out and attack you or kill you or something. You don't know because you wake up terrified after that, you know. And those are recurring dreams that you had as a child. What? I'm fine. But, like, I don't mind nighttime. I actually like nighttime. But, like, when you're totally alone in the dark and you're like, if there's no white noise, it's a little like I can hear everything and it's just weird. You're like, what's that noise? What is that? No. Fan on. White noise generator. I do not like the sounds of, like, creaking houses and settling and things because it's like, oh my god, something's in the house. Oh my god. It's Cthulhu. He's come to get me. He's coming out of my plumbing. What the fuck? I mean, you know what I mean? You never know. I'm not actually afraid of the dark, but I don't think anybody is like, woohoo! I mean, I don't hate the dark, but, like, certain situations, it's not pleasant. You know? I think I'd be less scared if someone, like, busted in my door right now in broad daylight. Because, like, people are awake, you can grab your phone. I don't know, it just seems less like, you're like, I mean, that'd be terrifying, but also at the same time, like, fuck you, dude! But if you're dead asleep or you're asleep and in your room and you think about it, that's scarier because there's, like, nobody around. Things are scarier in the dark sometimes. Anyway.
Hey, do you want Takuru to come back?
Do you too, sorry.
Of course, we're a family. Yeah. And we're doing all the cleaning that was Big Bro Takuru's job. And the shopping, too. Oh, that too! I forgot.
Kurusu laughed and looked around her missing brother's room, at her family. There was no changing what happened 6 years ago now.
Yui?
Hmm?
If anybody's mean to Yuto, get them back.
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. She would just have to protect her family, so that they could live together again. Oh, it's kind of cute. Kurusu took out her smartphone and left the room, leaving her uncertainty behind. Here's us. Oh, and Sarah, what are we doing? Are we breaking into the hospital? Where are we going? Where were we going? I forgot. It's been a couple days since I played. Are they gone? Sarah was sitting with her legs crossed on the cold floor, looking up at me. I put my ear up to the door and tried to see if there was anyone outside. It's safe. No one's there. Are we in a locker? Where are we? And let's give up and go home. My butt's starting to hurt. Hold on. How about I give you a little lecture? Oh my god! And then she's gonna bash her head into that door. A few years ago, I saw this. I think it was on the news. There was a guy who was in a bathroom and the lock broke, and he got stuck inside for 2 days. When they saved him, they asked him what it was like to be locked in a room for 2 days, and he said, I'm glad there was a toilet. There's 2 of us in here, so I can't go to the bathroom. Ugh. Damn it. She was right for once. Okay, so we're in a bathroom stall. But she was right. I was reaching my mental limits, too. It was past 10 now, which meant we spent more than 2 hours locked inside the bathroom. We were on the 5th floor of the AH Tokyo General Hospital in the women's toilet near the lobby. Well, like, the hospital doesn't, like, shut down just because it's at night. Like, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Do hospitals, and they're like, oh, everyone goes home, and you're like, so if I need a screw you, wait till the morning. Hospitals are a 24/7 thing. There's more people in a hospital in the middle of the night than there is in a 7-Eleven, I'm just saying. We learned in the club room this morning that the creator of the sumo stickers was here. Sarah and I had come to the hospital right after that. Each floor of the hospital had different sections, and each section had its own lobby, so we were able to go around to each floor and gather information by talking to the people there. Well, it was mostly Sarika who did the talking. Yeah, because we're not good at talking to people. And then we'd heard that there was someone in a private room in the back of the 5th floor who drew a lot of creepy pictures. Foot itchy. I got excited. The person drawing the pictures might know something. But there was a problem. namely the ward they were staying in.
It's the psych ward.
There were 2 wards on the 5th floor. The first was the gastroenterological ward, straight down the hall from the lobby. Like gastroenteritis or something. I can't quite say. Look, I don't play a doctor on TV. But to get to the place where we wanted to go, you had to take a right from the lobby and go to the psych ward. Dun, dun, dun! You knew. To meet with patients in the psych ward, you need permission from the patient in the hospital. If you weren't there to meet someone, you wouldn't even be allowed in. While we were sitting in the lobby trying to come up with a plan, visiting hours for the psych ward ended. Then hours for the gastroenterological ward ended too, and we had no good excuse for being there any longer. So you hid in the bathroom. And that's how we got where we are now. Yeah, but how are you still going to get into the ward? There's going to be a million doctors and nurses around. If I hadn't taken Serica's advice and chosen to hide in the women's restroom, where the stalls were inevitably in use more often, someone would have gotten suspicious of us a long time ago. No, maybe they already were suspicious. Damn it. Wanted to get some more information before we left. When Ito saw the pair in the pictures at the club room, he proposed we start investigating them immediately. But I decided to temporarily leave that to him and visit the hospital. I didn't tell Ito where I was going or why. If he knew I was putting a priority on verifying information on a homepage run by a crazy man with no sources even given, he'd make fun of me. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. And that's why I wanted to find something. But, like, you're hiding in the bathroom. When you come out, they're going to be like, visiting hours were ended like 6 hours ago. What are you doing? My phone suddenly started to vibrate. Kurusu? I frowned when I saw the name. Damn. And at a time like this, too. Turn your phone off. Taku? You're not going to answer it, Serica seemed to say, silently. I think it was just her eyeballs peeking up on the bottom of the screen. I decided to ignore the phone call. She's going to keep calling. I sneeze. Hold on. I was going to say, how does no one know there but right? Only stall doors in America have giant gaps on the side and giant gaps on the bottom where people can basically see you in the stall while you're in there, so that's... Silly America. Everybody else has real fucking doors. It's fucking obnoxious. It's so terrible. You sure? I don't exactly have a choice. I'm sure if I answered it, she'd just be annoying again. Whatever it was, chances are it wasn't something I wanted to hear, and I couldn't exactly hold a conversation right now. Oh, fun. This one we're going negative. This will be amazing. Positive is going to be us making out with Serica or some shit. Or like some hot boobied nurse comes in and offers us a threesome. It's going to be some weird shit. Positive always seems to be him in like some kind of weird horny situation, and negative always seems to be we get stabbed. 2 hours, huh? I didn't know being quiet and doing nothing was so tiring. Sarah got her arms crossed over her knees. She looked upset. Was I imagining it, or she'd been really fidgety over the last 10 minutes? It's weird. I never thought I'd be spending hours in a girl's bathroom stall with you at this age. Don't say that. Just hang in there a little longer. I can if you want. But I don't think there's much of a point to this. Serica sighed a little. I looked away from her. I was starting to fidget a little. Maybe because we've been talking about going to the bathroom. This is going to be fun. If you had chosen positive, I would have had sex with you in the stall. And now I'm going to stab you! Or so I said, but... To be honest, I was thinking of calling it a day, too. The reason why was... I really had to go to the bathroom. I was about to piss myself. Oh my god, that's our bad thing, is we're going to pee ourselves. It's funny as hell. Of course, I was aware that I was already sitting right next to a toilet. But I didn't think it was a good idea to use the woman's bathroom, particularly in front of Serica, so I was holding it in. But I was about to hit my limit. This is funny. But still, if I missed a chance like this because of a simple biological function, it'd be humiliating. Ito would laugh at me for sure. I was the president of the newspaper club. bladders and having to pee are just so beneath me. I'd overruled the objections of the vice president to come here. I couldn't give up. I had a reputation to protect. So Hey, Onoe? You ready to go home? Sarika stood up, looking relieved. That's a good idea. We could come back tomorrow. No, not yet. Then what? I want to pee. Huh? So can you go outside for a second? What? No, they'll find me. Just 30 seconds. No, then you go outside. Why would I go outside when I'm the one who needs to pee? Oh, right. Then I'll turn around, so just do it here. How could she suggest something like that in such an innocent way? That's embarrassing. It's not like she's going to see anything. Her back's turned. What? After we've known each other for all these years? Are you serious? I mean, wait. Are you serious? I was so freaked out that I was repeating myself. It's fine. Just do it quick. Sarika grinned a little as she turned around. I'm not going to peek, I promise. Evidently, she had no intention of leaving the stall. This is funny. No way. There was no way this was happening. But to be honest, my bladder felt like it was about to explode. I love how all the other ones we get stabbed, and this one we just have to pee in front of our girl. It's fucking funny. I couldn't last any longer. I didn't have a choice. Make sure you don't look over here. Make sure. Okay. Her smarmy wink, though. I lifted the lid, lowered my zipper, and got ready. Felt a wave of pleasure and release as I let go. Well, high phrasing. That's better. That's how you feel when you've been driving for a long time. You're like, I really have to pee. I can't traffic. Go away. I just need a rest stop. And then you can barely walk because your bladder's cramped and your whole body's cramped. And then you finally pee and you're like, oh my God, I've never felt anything better in my life. I hate that. The sound, though, was extremely embarrassing. I should have had Sarika put her hands over her ears. But it was too late now. It's just pee. If you were pooping, it'd be different. I have to poop. Asking her to do so at this point would just be more embarrassing. And since I'd held it in for so long, there was a lot that had to come out. It was taking long enough that it was actually starting to freak me out a little. Hurry up, come on. Hurry up and finish. So, how about that weather? She laughed. She just laughed. How the hell do you laugh at a guy who's going to the bathroom? Maybe she peeked over your shoulder. So mean. A lot's coming out, huh? Oh, yeah. I want to kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself. Please, someone, kill me. That's fucking funny. If that happened, I don't think I'd ever recover. But Sarah and I were in a situation where that could happen at any minute. I wonder if the positive one is him making fun of her while she pees. That'd be funny. Maybe it was time to go home after all. As that stupid idea crossed my mind. Okay, let's go, Taku. We could come back tomorrow. Sarika stood up and rubbed her butt a little. It doesn't bother you? Huh? This was the hospital we'd snuck into a long time ago looking for an urban legend called Amy. Maybe Amy's the one drawing the pictures. In the end, we had to give up before we could figure it out. But if there was some connection between the sumo stickers and this hospital... Sure, it bothers me. If we could find out something, I'd like to. But don't you think it's a better idea to give up now and come back tomorrow during visiting hours and wait for another chance? Well, yeah. If we leave now, as long as they don't catch us on this floor, we can just walk straight out, right? Okay, here's my thing. They were there and visiting hours were over, so they hid in a bathroom, and that's where the plan stopped. So what are we going to do? I don't know. They were there. We were here to visit, and we were both sick in the bathroom together. I mean, if you were both girls, you could be like, oh, she was sick. I was holding her hair back, and we'll leave now. Mary Smith? We were visiting Mrs. Smith. Do you know Mrs. Smith? Is she not? Oh my God, We came to visit. She's on the 6th floor, silly us. But, like, seriously? How do you walk out of the bathroom and sneak out? What was your plan? Let's sit here and figure out how you weren't going to sneak into the ward. What? What would... We are an idiot, but... Oh, my God. This place had an ER, so it was open at night, and people would be going in and out. As long as we could get to the first floor lobby safely, we'd be able to walk right out. Damn it. Maybe we didn't have a choice. Fine, let's just... I was like, okay, fine, let's just... I was like, there's going to be some kind of an emergency thing where there's a panic and they can go bolting in. And I could hear the but it was his phone. My phone vibrated again. Again? Wait. I thought it was Caruso calling me again, but it wasn't. I checked once again that there was no one in the restroom and answered the phone. You're talking in the stall. I think you would have heard someone come in. Hello? Hey, Miyashiro, where are you right now? What's wrong? The vice president wants to stop chasing the case. She's pissed. Happy music. Dun, dun, dun. Not gonna happen. Seriously? She asked me what you two were doing right now, or more like she screamed at me. It was scary. You didn't... Yeah, Ito said. I told her everything, and then she said I needed to take down the camera. Then she changed her mind and said she was going to do it herself and hung up. God damn it, Shinji, what the fuck? What? Why didn't you keep your mouth shut? You know, that's impossible, man. Damn it, the coward. Well, I knew how he felt. Anyway, I told her that there was something else that you were interested in and you'd gone with Onoe to look into it. Now, I don't know what you're doing, but apologize before she kills you. And answer the phone when she calls. Okay, Dad. Jesus Christ, Shinji is our fucking father. And he's being spousally abused by our mom. He hung up before I could say anything. It was clear that he wanted to stay out of this. With nothing else to do, I put away my phone. So, Nod's feeling better. Good. Sarika looked happy. She must have overheard the conversation. No, it's not good. But that's just like her. Sarika nodded to herself, satisfied. She really did look happy. Whose side are you? Whose side are you? I think it's supposed to be, whose side are you on? Yours, Taku. You don't want Nan to be sad, do you? Well, no. Never mind. Taku, we're leaving. Oh, we're leaving? Just so we're clear, I'm not giving up. I just didn't feel like I was going to find out anything more by staying here. This was so pointless, but it's kind of funny. I'd just come back tomorrow during visiting hours. And dodge Caruso somehow. Just never go to school again and move. Okay. There was no one around. The nurse at the nurse's station was staring at her PC and we, crawl on the floor. If we crouched down, she couldn't see us. I motioned to Sarika and we quietly left the bathroom and started for the lobby. We made it across and arrived at the front of the elevator. I looked ahead and saw an automatic door with thick frosted glass. The psych ward lay beyond it. Next to it was a control terminal with an intercom. When visiting, you'd say your name and have them unlock the door from the inside. Damn it. During visiting hours, I'd been sitting in the lobby waiting for the automatic door to open. I tried to see if there was a way to sneak in alongside another visitor, but I'd run out of time before I'd gotten the chance. Taku, there's nothing we can do. Let's come back. Sarika must have noticed me staring at it because she motioned for me to leave. Yeah. She was right. If we use the elevator, they might notice the sound. We just have to take the stairs. I was like, someone's gonna come out. Taku? Sarika stopped just before she reached the stairs. Just now... Huh? I heard a beeping noise coming from the automatic door. Someone was coming out? I dragged Sarika out onto the landing for the stairs. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to blow my nose. That was weird. I didn't hear any footsteps. Magic. Doo-doo, the person in there magical. Huh? The door's gonna be open. Hell yeah. I knew when I heard the beeping and there was nobody because it's a glass door, I was like, oh, they're there and they want us in. Huh? No way. I took a look around the corner and saw that the door was open. Why? It was definitely open, and there was no sign that anyone had come out. I could see deeper into the ward now that the frosted glass was out of the way. The hallway was dark and it was long past lights out. Why? Why had it opened? Was it set to open automatically from the inside and someone had walked close enough to trip the sensor? I hadn't seen anyone pass by. Taku? I nodded back at Sarah as she pointed down the stairs. Someone was coming up. What should we do? There wasn't enough time for the elevator to get here. The lobby was out of the question. Should we go upstairs? Or would it be safe if we just walked downstairs and acted like nothing was wrong? The dark hallway seemed to be beckoning to me. There were no guards or nurses around it. Taku?
Takuru, you weren't any different from anyone else. You're just a teenage boy.
Well, that is different from a lot of people, because not everyone is a teenage boy, Kurusu. Jesus. I grabbed Sarika's hand. See, this would actually be kind of almost in a way a fun visual novel if it was like, you get the trigger thing, but if it was like, do we run to the thing? Don't we? No, we don't, and then we get caught, and like... and ran straight for the open door, but you knew damn well you'd run for the door. I don't know what's going on, but this is our chance. Let's go. Sarika was behind me, so I couldn't tell if she nodded or not. I ran faster so I wouldn't have to hear my heart pounding, and a moment later... we were inside the psych ward. Well, how do we get out, though? We don't belong here, but you're in there. Yeah, but I mean, we ran in here because the door opened on its own. Sounds like you need to be there. As I listened to the door shut behind me, I moved up next to the wall and took a look around. It was too dark to see all the way to the end of the hallway, but there didn't seem to be anyone there. The green light of the emergency exit reflected off the floor, bathing us in dim light. Taku, your hand. I realized that I was still holding Sarika's hand. I quickly let go, and she turned her hand toward the wall. Look! Oh. She was pointing at a simple map of the ward. It showed the nurse's station, the exam rooms, and what were probably the numbers for the patients' rooms. The person who drew those pictures was in a private room in the far back right. Sarika nodded, but the map didn't say if the rooms were singles or not. I looked at the doors in front of me. There were plates with what looked like 2 patient names. These rooms were doubles, which meant any room with the same layout was also probably a double. I looked back at the map. Where were the private rooms? I found them, right here. Damn, they really are in the back.
That way?
Sarika pointed further down the hall. With Sarika behind me, I turned to the side and started to walk as quietly as I could. That weird scent unique to hospitals was stinging my nose. I was used to it, but it was still a little creepy. And it was too quiet. If this was a psych ward, I expected to hear some crazy screaming or something. No, that's just prejudiced. Even if it's a sealed ward, most of the patients here are probably just old people with Alzheimer's. Or are so doped up so that they don't have to deal with the crazy voices in their head or whatever's happening. You know what I mean? Like, depending on what your issue is, why you're in a psych ward, like, they're probably medicating you. Could you imagine, like, well, they have night terrors. They're going to do something about it so you're not, like, screaming and stabbing. You know. Ah, well, they're fine. They're got meds to help you. Like, a hospital ward, usually for mental patients, with a locked entrance and heavily restricted access and visiting rules, in the broader sense, refers to any hospital ward, not just a mental ward, that can't be accessed without permission from staff. Now, sometimes the ICU is like that. Or, like heart wards, too, like after you've had certain surgeries and stuff. My dad was in one of those, like, at one point. Or like you had to be buzzed in. You couldn't just like walk right in because they don't want just anybody walking in. You'd have to like, yeah, we're here for this, and then, you know. So, and a lot of times, yeah, no, I think ICUs are like that too because it's intensive care and they don't want just anybody rolling in. I mean, with sick, you know. You wouldn't expect the patients to be screaming 24 hours a day, especially after lights out. Yeah, people need to sleep sometimes, even if we're screamers. I just meant screaming because the universe sucks. That came out really inappropriate, but. What was with the air here? No, it didn't matter. It was just another dim hallway. I wasn't going to the scene of a crime this time. Oh no, you're in a psych ward. We're like, Lord knows what's wrong with some of the people in here. Oh. And then I realized, come to think of it, when I'd gone in the Love Hotel, I'd first tried to get past the door. I'd almost given up. Oh. I can't miss her. I turned around and saw the empty hallway stretching up before me, past a confused Serica. The door opened on its own. Maybe we have magical door opening abilities. Some people are psychic, some people have magic voices, and we can unlock doors. It's not the lamest superpower. The automatic door was on the other side of the corner. The door opened on its own then, too. That's it, I have magic door opening abilities. He must have gotten his COVID shot, and this is what happened. He didn't get a cool, like, he didn't get 5G Wi-Fi or anything, but he got magic door opening abilities. I'm just saying. It's better than mine. I can make my windshield wipers work on occasion. Like, the motor's going and the windshield wiper fluid thing. So, like, for a year it hasn't worked, and I've been like, okay, there's a clog or something, and then just randomly the other week I was like, oh my god, it's starting to work! And then it doesn't always work. So, yeah. I wasn't thinking about a motor. We were thinking that, like, the hose was clogged, because it sounds like it's working, but I guess it's just not quite. But yeah, so that's the superpower I got. It's kind of lame because it's not even like I can make my windshield wipers work. The fluid come out. Like no, I actually only sometimes. It's like that Family Guy episode where everybody got superpowers and Meg can just make her nails grow really long. Everyone's like, it's lame. It's like that. Anyway, that's right. The door to the hotel had opened on its own, just like the automatic door here. The police had told me I'd been mistaken, but maybe it was really... Taku? What's wrong? Nothing. I realized I'd stopped moving. Crap. Was that a nurse? Oh my god, Bird, seriously, shut up. This way! I like how the steps aren't like normal footsteps. It's like click, click. Click, click. It's like purposely like walking slow. Gonna go. You know what I mean? Like it's not like step, 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 like a person walking normally. You might be walking slowly, but it's literally like, I'm taking a step. And now I'm taking a step to purposely torture you. Like, oh, there was blood in Matsushida's IV. What, again? Did it come out? Well, you see, I could hear what sounded like two nurses in the hallway. Did they find us? No. Bird! Stop it. Like, why can't you just talk like that? Yeah. That's nice. Why don't you just talk like that? The screaming has got to fucking stop. I swear to God, I'm going to get a muzzle for you. I wouldn't, because I don't think they make them, but like, good Lord. I listen carefully. They seem to be talking about a patient. Like, you can train dogs to not bark and be assholes. You can't train birds not to be assholes. They're just fucking assholes. Good. They hadn't found us. We'd have to stay here until they left. Hey, Taku, actually... When we snuck in last time, do you remember where we went? I took my ear off the door. Of course I remember. No, actually, I don't remember where we went exactly. I tried to think back to what I'd seen so many times in the dream. It's like, I remember exactly. I don't at all. It was 8 or 9 years ago now. About that long ago, I was still in elementary school. But I don't think it was the psych ward. I couldn't remember how we got in exactly, but I don't remember sneaking through an automatic door. And That wasn't the kind of treatment you'd see in a psych ward. Actually, I don't think you can even call that treatment, whatever it was. What's wrong? I was about to ask before I saw her face and realized what was wrong. Are you okay? Huh? Yeah, I'm okay. Oh my god, Bird, shut up! She clearly wasn't okay. Bird is clearly not okay. Does she remember what happened before? Come to think of it, actually, she tried to act strong and failed last time, too. We're not doing anything big here. We just get information from the artist and go home. That's all, right? The nurses must have finished talking because I could hear the footsteps getting further away. Okay. Sarika slapped her cheeks with her hands to try to snap herself out of it. Let's go, Taku. Yeah. When we got to the room, the dim light of the emergency exit lamp was shining down on it. Here? I nodded. This was probably the place. It was a private room in the back, and there were no nameplates on the other private rooms we'd passed. So, like, we bust in the private room, and they're like, I was sleeping. Could you imagine? Even if you're just there because, like, oh my god, I see demons or some shit. Like, whatever. And you're like, I'm just trying to live my fucking life in my psych ward, drawing my doodles, right? And then, like, you're sleeping, and then all of a sudden you wake up, and there's 2 fucking people in your room. God, I hope you don't have hallucinations, because, like, you'd literally be like, the meds aren't strong enough! There were 2 kids here! Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you're like, I have delusions and I see scary things sometimes. So you're in a psych ward for just for your own safety, and you're just like, I need somebody to help me, and you're like on meds, and you're just, again, drawing creepy doodles, and you're like, I'm doing okay. Things are fine. Like, I'm just okay. This is cool. Doctors are helping me. Like, what if? And then, like, you wake up in the middle of the night and there's 2 kids. You're like, I swear they felt so real. The doctor is like, okay, Spacey. Just pats on head, like, but you have delusions. Yeah, but and then they're going to dope you up with more meds because 2 kids snuck into the fucking psych ward in the middle of the night and woke you the fuck up. I mean, just this poor person. I hope they don't try to stab us. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like maybe if we get another thing, we should do a negative one. We're in a psych ward and it's supposed to be spooky and scary. We should do another negative thing. Maybe they'll stab us. It'd be fun. Like, oh my god, no one. Oh my lord. I'm opening the door. There was no time to hesitate. We could run into a nurse at any moment. I looked to the left and right and checked that there was no one there before opening the door. The nurse comes in. Who are you talking to, Spacey? These 2 kids? Oh my god, there are kids there. What? No, we're Spacey's delusions. You're hallucinating too. Oh. It was a dark room with no lights. There was enough light to see my hands, but not my feet. Is there no one here? Maybe they sleep under the bed. The bed against the wall was empty. The blanket was rolled up. Sarika looked over to see if I saw. Was this not the place? Maybe I'll check the other rooms. I went to leave when Sarika grabbed my arm. What? Taku, look. Huh? They're behind the door. Sarika pointed at the back wall of the room. Her hand was shaking a little. It was too dark to see. I softly crept forward to get a better look. How can she see, though? Oh, that's a little creepy. Those are the exact ones we see everywhere. What is this? The whole wall. The whole wall was covered with drawings of the sumo sticker. It would look like red paint. Oh god, is it blood? I feel sick. Sarika grabbed onto my arm. The warmth reminded me that I wasn't alone. Could you imagine we get caught by the nurses and they call the cops? Shinjo shows up. You 2 again? Why is it always you 2? Not 3. We need a third party in crime to make it more Harry Potter, but it made me feel just a little better. If I'd seen this alone, I might have screamed and gone crazy. What's this smell? I noticed that there was an unpleasant scent coming from the red paint on the wall. Oh god, it's probably blood. I took another step forward, and then I realized it's blood. I put my hand in front of my mouth to stifle a scream, and then another hand in front of Serica's mouth to stop her from screaming too. What's wrong? Serica ripped my hand away from her mouth and clung to me tighter. This isn't paint. Huh? It's blood. I fucking told you. Red paint on the wall. It's fucking blood. You can't say it's red paint. It's blood. Anytime anyone says, like, there's red, it was drawn with red paint blood. It's the logical assumption in, like, anything. Unless it's like, I'm going to paint the walls red. Oh my god, with blood? You know. Depends on the setting, but, like, any kind of spooky, weird, sci-fi, whatever. Blood. Strange smell, like rust. It was the same thing I'd smelled at the Love Hotel during the revolving dead incident. A coppery tinge of blood. Who had drawn these? Who would draw something like this and in blood? I imagine someone locked up in a dim room, endlessly drawing paintings in blood on a blank wall, and a shiver went down my spine. I got goosebumps all over my body. Maybe it was Matsushita. Their IV came out, remember? This place is dangerous. There's something very wrong with this room. Taku? What are you doing? Huh? Click, 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 click. Ah! I suddenly realized I was holding a smartphone in my quavering hand. Videoing this, exactly. And without even realizing, I pushed the record button and started filming the drawings on the wall. Something has taken over for us. No, this isn't the time for this. Let's go, okay? Serica tried to drag me back. Yeah, but my body wouldn't move. I knew it was dangerous to stay here, but I couldn't move. Serica was saying something behind me. But while I could hear the sounds, I couldn't understand what they meant. And then... Eee! I heard a sound from somewhere in the dark room. It was the sound of someone scratching something. The blood pumping in your ear in this, that's amazing. I gulped. And my body froze up even more. Taku? I heard a sound somewhere. Oh, that's me. Who's there? Someone was in here with us. Someone was in this room. Yeah, the person who lives here. In the darkness. I hear the sound of something hard being scratched again. They're carving something or like drawing. But the sound bounced off the walls of the square room and I couldn't tell where it was coming from. I desperately searched around the room, eyes cloudy with terror. It's Amy. Like, all the ones that she's drawn look exactly... Because, like, it's got, like, the little, like, three... I don't want to say feathers, but you know what I mean? Underneath this part kind of thing going on there. Isn't that... It's, like, the exact one that we've seen. Like, all the other stickers are all different, you know? Oh, there's a bunch of different ones, but the ones we've always seen on the scene and the ones everywhere, and these are all the same. Although that giant one in the right corner kind of there just looks like his eyes are bleeding and she's making him into the Joker. That one looks slightly disturbing. Ugh! How long had they been there? A girl was crouching on the floor alone with her back to us. She was right next to the bloody sumos. A hand wrapped around her knees. She was staring at her feet. She was staring at a drawing of a sumo sticker. It's like someone got one and turned it into a sticker and then like... That's fucking weird. It was too dark to tell for sure, but I thought I saw something dripping off her finger. Blood? That was blood. I hope you got a video of this. She'd cut her finger to draw that. She was drawing those pictures. I couldn't speak. My throat wouldn't work. Mine barely works. I had questions to ask her. Who are you? Did you draw the stickers all over town? Why are you drawing those? But I just couldn't speak. The strange sight before me filled me with an indescribable terror. Indescribable terror. Wow, I can't read. I was overcome by the idea that if I talked to her now, if she turned around, she'd transform into something else and attack me. Taku? See, that would have been a really good delusion, right? Huh? I heard my name and turned towards Serica. This is getting kind of creepy and weird, and like the scene flipped right as something kind of dropped outside, and I was like, oh my god, the girl's gonna lunge at us. It's like a sound effect in the game. Her hand was clutching my arm tightly. What's wrong? Oh, no way. Why do you sound so scared? Why? Can't you see? Shaking, I pointed at the girl on the floor. But, huh? She's not there. There was no one there. I was standing in the middle of a hospital room, shaking and staring at the drawings of the sumo sticker design on the wall. My hand had numbly lowered and my smartphone was recording only my crotch. Like, what? Are you okay? Well, the weirdest thing is if you're holding your smartphone, I mean, yeah, I guess if you kind of drop it, but you're like, yeah. No, yeah. I'm like, come on, you should have been recording. And then you would have been like, see the girl there? She'd be like, oh my God, there wasn't one there. You saw a ghost. Are you okay? Sarika looked at me, worried. No, I'm not okay. What happened to that girl? Girl? What are you talking about? She was just there, right? But there was no one in the direction I was pointing. Just eerie pictures in an empty room. Oh no! Don't scare me like that! Then that was just a delusion? Weird, because I didn't do any kind of triggers. I wonder if... I mean, I would assume the delusions, it's either good or bad, but like, it changes what ending you get, but I couldn't imagine, like, if you did all happy delusions, this would still be there. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine that just depending on the delusions you pick, that there's a point where maybe this scene is different if you did all happy delusions or something. I just feel like this is all static, and the only thing that changes are the delusions, and then kind of when you get to the end. You know what I mean? Shoot kind of decides which ending you get. Or maybe whoever had drawn the bloody pictures on the wall was already dead. Some trace of their spirit was bound into those paintings and trapped inside the room? No, that was way too paranormal for me. Was it possible? I mean... Doors open on their own. But I couldn't get the image of the crouching girl I thought I had seen out of my mind. We see dead people. Oh no, wait, let's go. This probably isn't a good place. Yeah. She's like, I've been trying to get you to do that for 30 minutes. I took Sarika's hand and slowly started to walk backwards. It'd be so funny if you're a nurse here and you see the kids in the room, you just stand there, wait till they bump into you. What are you doing? Just to fuck with them. It felt like if I made a sound, all of the eyes of the sumos drawn on the wall would open and stare at me. No, that was kind of terrifying because then they cry like babies. I made it back to the door and jumped out into the hallway. That was scary. Come here. You can do that later. Call the doctor, too. Something might have happened. I could hear frantic voices down the hallway. Oh, no. Hospital staff must have heard my scream. They probably thought something had happened to a patient. They were going to find us. Jump into an empty room. Huh? Did I just hear the sound from the emergency exit? Taku, here! It's open! Sarika jumped onto the door. Huh? Hurry! Yeah. That's fucking... Okay, we have magical door opening abilities, or some kind of ghost is following us. I'm just saying. Well, did you find anything? Everything's normal. What do you think happened? I could faintly hear the voices of the nurses running back and forth across the hallway. Evidently, they hadn't found us. We're safe, right? I could hear Sarika take a sigh of relief in the darkness. Yeah. I used a light from my phone to look around. We were on the landing of a staircase. This is probably the emergency stairs. We can probably get down from here. Sarika looked down, illuminating the stairs with her own phone. Why? Huh? Why was it open? Because it's the emergency exit, right? But this is a sealed ward, right? If they were keeping the automatic door locked, there was no way they wouldn't lock the emergency exit. I mean, right? How easy would that be? Like, we got a lock so the patients can't get loose in the hospital, but they can run out the fucking back door. It's totes fine. They probably forgot to lock it. Did they? Could we really get that lucky? And I was sure I'd heard a sound. Yeah, it magically unlocked. Taku, forget that. We need to get out of here. Sarika pointed down the stairs. Yeah, you're right. I used the light from my phone to look at the knob of the emergency door. Good. It was the type that opened from the inside. The other doors probably were too. Let's go down and look for an exit. We're trapped in the emergency exit. They find our corpses 3 years later. Okay. Taku, those pictures on the wall. Yeah. Sarika was probably thinking the same thing I was. Was that where the creator of the sumo stickers was kept? Or someone who had something to do with the case? But in the end, I had no answer. There was a whole wall of sumo sticker images drawn in someone's blood. That was the only information we had. Sarika seemed to understand that as well, because she didn't ask any more questions. Good, it opened. I unlocked the door and quietly opened it, then peered down the hallway beyond. Oh, you know what's funny? It's an emergency exit. Well, I saw the old lady pop up, and I'm like, oh, okay. We saw her in the thing, but then again, this looks like the little girl that we saw in that room. When she had her back toward us, she had her hair up in that side ponytail. That's the side her ponytail would have been on. I wonder if it's her. Because why do they get sprites? You know what I'm saying? Like, did our first murder victim get a sprite? Did, Otani get one? He might have, because he was in the very beginning of the story. I don't think he actually had a sprite. I can't really remember, but I know Momose has one. What the hell was that other woman's name with the magic voice? She didn't get a fucking sprite. We didn't see her at all. You know what I mean? You see them in kind of CGs and kind of stuff, but like, so she's, I don't know. And her hair is the same style as the little girl that was in the room. All I'm saying. I ducked without even thinking. I placed my hand on the open door to support myself and then quickly yanked my body back inside toward the stairs. Why? What are those two doing here? It's a hospital, dude. Do we just see that girl in every single picture that just flashed by? I saw it, like, looked like the picture of the Love Hotel. Like there was somebody standing there with like a bow. There was no mistaking it. Those were the two that Ito had noticed in the club room this morning. We never explained that. Wasn't he like, look, and you were like, yeah, and then they never explained it. She's in all those pictures, though. But they just flashed through them. I wonder if we can we go back? Oh, no, you can't. Damn it. Like... Yeah, you can't do it, so... Sarika stuck her head out just a little and saw them, too. She dropped down. Tuck! I put my hand over her mouth before she could finish. I'm pretty sure that's the little girl that we saw in the room, too. I know, so don't make any noise. Why were they here? Was there some connection between them and the sumo stickers after all? I mean... I could hear footsteps. Theirs. I couldn't move. They'd hear me. I froze and concentrated on what I was hearing. Oh my god. Good. They were heading further away. Shit! It's on our phone. Oh. Shit, we just dropped our phone. Oh no. Not good, not good! This is not good! You should have turned your phone off. They were getting closer. Who were those two? What were they doing here? This is bad. Maybe the killers behind this case are...
There's a chance that something really bad could happen.
We so have to end this part, but whatever. Taku! They're gonna kill us? For a moment, I felt incredibly cold, like my whole body had gotten smaller. The hand I was holding against the door was slippery with sweat. You just closed the door. My heart was pounding loudly, and it hurt to breathe. No, no! Suddenly, my frozen body was yanked upward. I stumbled and tripped and was yanked up again. This way! Did we lose our phone? Just as Sarah kicked open some kind of door and dragged me through, I saw them pick up my phone. Ow, we lost our phone. Oh my god. We're okay now, right? We don't know. We're going to find out on the next part, but damn! I got pretty good at the end. But they flash through those photos and it's like, oh my god. You don't notice. Like, I didn't see her in the group shot where you could see all the things on the wall, but the Love Hotel one, you could kind of see someone in front of it. And then there was another one, but I don't remember what it was, but it was like, wait, and like, but they went by so fast. But that's why they didn't tell us. Because I totally forgot that even came up. And then he's like, that's what Ito showed me. And I was like, wait, what? I'm like, oh, wait. Do I remember him saying, like, oh, hey, look what I found? And you're like, yeah. And then it just ends. And you're like, what? What did you find? Because if they told you, then when you saw them in the thing, it would be, this was the reveal, like, dun, dun, dun. So kind of like the way they did that. It's good. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.